Yes, love's a secret weapon. Yeah!
Hi, I'm Donna Loren.
And I'm Dr. Adam Gerace.
And you are listening to Love's a Secret Weapon podcast.
A Valentine poem just for you. When true love strikes, we grow magical wings. A sense of euphoria and wonder begins. It fills us with rhyme, rhythm, and song. A wonderful feeling that most of us long. It puts us in tune with our higher self, where miracles ring with the surge of wealth, like pennies from heaven that fall to the ground and transform into gold at the utter of sound. It carries us up to a higher breeze, where colorful vibes play sweet melodies and beautiful tones, harmonies of love, disperse in the ether way up above. It opens our eyes and enlightens our mind to a rainbow's end where treasure we find, where glorious colors sprinkled with gold fill us with awe and splendor untold. When true love strikes our magical wings, takes us to realms beyond ordinary things, renaissance like that of the morning dew, a misty enchantment, winsome and new. Happy Valentine's Day.
The secret way hold my hand. Let me know you understand. All of a sudden my heart sings when I remember little things, the way you dance and hold me tight, the way you kiss and say goodnight, the crazy things we say and do, the fun it is to be with you, the magic thrill that's in your touch. Oh, darling, I love you so much. When you hold my hand, let me know you understand. The wind and rain upon your face, the breathless word of your embrace, your little laugh and half surprise, the starlight gleaming in your eyes, remembering all those little things. All of a sudden, my
Love's a Secret Weapon community. We are so pleased to welcome a wonderful artist and actress who also happens to be a good friend of Donna's. Please welcome Margareta Sjödin.
Hello.
Oh, hello, my darling. It's so good to hear
Oh,
you.
I'm so happy to hear your voice, Donna.
Oh, Margareta. I just told Adam he's a Taurus and you're a Pisces and I'm a Pisces, so he has a lot to deal with.
And good morning, both of you.
Good morning and good
and good
evening.
evening to you.
Yes, it's a perfect evening for me.
Oh, honey, thank you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Oh,
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. May I remind you and share with our community of Love's a Secret Weapon that many years ago, you and I, and a few other people, including one of my daughters, went to a Head Start school in Los Angeles.
Yes, I remember that.
It was a very special occasion. I just recall driving down the freeway filled with balloons in my car, and that you and I made kind of a heart-shaped throne for these little kids that were 3 and 4 years old in the Head Start program, and made them cookies and lots of goodies for Valentine's Day, and really brightened their lives so much.
Oh yes, I remember these little kids. They were so happy.
So happy. And truly, it's so wonderful to reunite with you. It's been way too long. Many, many years have gone by. So many changes. And
yes, right.
I wanted to bring up something with both of you that I think that, for way too long that the world is experiencing, including each one of us individually, so much loss and the awareness of so much suffering that I feel so fortunate to have some kind of like an angel on my shoulder, as well as I'm sure both of you do, and so many of us do, to create like a resilience to bounce back out of this loss and go into a new life and a new beginning. And I see that that's what's happened to you as well as it's happened to me and Dr. Adam. So we're all in this together. Please.
Oh, that's great. Yes.
Please tell us, a little, let us know the history of your beginning of your life and the evolution and now where you are. Please.
Yes, I think it started with my family didn't want me to be into art. So, but I was dancing as a little kid, and we were kind of not really poor, but I have had a very loving family. So they just let me, and I was dancing, I was singing Zulu. And that was in a little town up in the north of Sweden, where it's a lot of snow in the wintertime and then very light in night and day in summer. And I loved the snow and it was beautiful. But then I was longing to go to Stockholm to have a career in another way. But I did what my parents told me. I became a grade school teacher first.
Mm-hmm.
So I came to Stockholm as a grade school teacher, 65. And then I started knocking on doors.
And what a beautiful sight you would be when they opened. Door.
Yeah, I was really on. So I wasn't that scared. I just did it because I knew that has to be my future. And I was a teacher, so I knew I could support myself. But then in the evenings, I started different acting schools and so on. And then I got parts all at once. And I was modeling some with my face and for ice cream. And
yes, this was the largest ice cream company in Sweden, I read. And I think you and Donna both started out with an ice cream commercial.
You didn't know, Margareta, but when I was 8 years old, my first commercial that I sang on was for an ice cream company called Meadow Gold in the United States. So we have a little tiny bit of that in common. Plus, when I was in Stockholm visiting you, Oh, the ice cream that in Old Town was, I think it was the most delicious ice cream I ever had.
Oh, they had very nice ice cream well, they still have, of course. And GB ice cream is the very best. And that was, I got so much money for doing that. And it was funny, a lot of pictures and all over town.
Okay, so
And
I'd love to see if you have any of that memory. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I mostly I have pictures. I have books in my summer house, and I should start trying to get to all the magazines I've been in.
Okay, yes, absolutely.
because when did after the ice cream commercial, is that when you got the role in the TV show?
I think it was 68, 69. I was in that TV show Partaj, and I did something wrong all the time. I was dancing, I was singing, and all the time I got water over my head.
Oh no!
And all the time I had fixed my hair, and I got water again.
Oh.
And I looked so funny and then after that, after I got the water, I had to say, did I do something wrong again?
Svanchans resa. Jag har gjort bort mig nu igen.
You had a catchphrase.
So wait a minute. So that was the part of Goldie Hawn in Laugh-In in America.
Yes, and I met
Yes.
Goldie Hawn also and talked about it a little bit.
Oh.
And she had a love affair with a friend of mine in Swedish, Bruno Wintzell, for a while. So we met at some, I think we just met and talked a little bit.
When my daughter Katie was born on April 19th, 1979, I was on one wing of the Cedars-Sinai Hospital, and because I had natural childbirth, and on the other side of the same wing was Goldie Hawn giving birth to her Katie Hudson.
Yes.
May, but she had it cesarean, so she was in a different side, but the same day, the same name.
Oh, that's incredible. And you know, Emma went to school with her, Kate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So many different connections. It's so interesting.
Right. She is a very good actress.
She's excellent.
And your Kate is a good singer.
She has evolved into a great interior designer. So definitely one form of art or another our children are very deeply involved in. Why not? Because that's the family they come from, and
Right.
channel their energy.
And with the TV show, did that make you very well known in Sweden?
Yes, but I was known before that. But this is something that they never forget. Still, they are telling me when I meet people, they're saying, "Oh, did you do something wrong again?" So they never forget that.
So when Dr. Adam, when I visited Sweden, and Margareta and her family hosted us in their lovely apartment in Stockholm, that one day we met for lunch at, I think it's called the Opera.
Yeah, Opera Baren, yes. Opera Terrace.
They have the most delicious Swedish pancakes, huge Swedish pancakes, and delicious lingonberry. And when we were finished with lunch and we were walking out, there were photographers flashing lights because of you.
Oh,
Remember, they were photographing you.
Oh, yes, I'm so sorry that I don't have these pictures.
Yeah, that was the paparazzi waiting for you.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, what
You
fun.
know why? Because you're their favorite flavor.
Oh, that's great. That would have been great to see those
I'm
photos.
sure Donna made some impact with her beauty.
Well, if you're vanilla, I'm chocolate.
Yeah, that's right.
Because
Two Pisces with different colors.
complimentary.
Yeah.
I was looking, Margareta, at your the films and theatre that you'd done. Tell us a little bit about some of the films that you did.
Yeah, one film I'm very proud of was Miss and Mrs. Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a big part there, and it's still, you can see it on Play.
Oh,
Yeah, so it was 16, let me see, that everything big was happening 69.
Yeah.
And it was Göran Gentele. He later became Metropolitan director of Metropolitan in New York, but he made a lot of movies, and he was a director of that film. And Jarl Kull, a very big actor in Sweden, had the main part.
Yeah.
And we had some very fun situations there in acting. And it started out like I didn't like Miss Sweden.
It was about a beauty contest, wasn't it?
Yeah, right. I didn't like that in the film. And then I met this Jarl Kulle and pretend everything was okay. And then in the end, everything was falling apart, and we all went into a big swimming pool and all that. It was fun to follow that movie.
Kommer nu att utnämna den nya Miss Sweden.
Talar jag om att Jarl Kulle är med? Det är han. Margareta Sjödin. Meg Westergren och Stig Grybe.
Vad är meningen med det här? Det här tänker jag inte finna mig. Vet ni inte vem jag är? Jag är
Gabe Stenberg och jag och många fler. Och här får ni se nästan hela filmen Miss and Mrs. Sweden av Göran Gentele.
There's a theme in your life, water.
Yeah, so you were doing all that film in 1969, and you were also appearing in theatre shows as well?
Yes, I was doing, let me see, Play It Again, Sam. That is well known. Yeah, that was a play. And then I did Ibsen in Per Gynt. I did Solveig. And we went all over Sweden with that play and into Norway. Yeah, so Ibsen is a well-known author, and Per Gynt and Solveig, that part is very important. So that was fun. I was singing Solveig's song, and so that was an interesting part. But I made a movie called Snake, and I was naked in that movie. It is a very important movie and very serious. But how I felt being Christian and naked, and I didn't like that. But I had to give my soul and my body, everything I felt. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But then I did something interesting. That is Aristocats for Disney.
Oh yes, you did the voice, the Swedish dubbing for which part was that?
Duchess, the cat. I like doing that cat. It was very kind and cozy cat, and she had some kittens, and it was a love story. You know that story, Aristocats.
Underbart.
Om du vill att jag ska må, blås ditt horn, ge mera ton. Lägg sen in lite känsla i din sång.
Vi tar det på ett annat sätt.
Ja, det låter ganska rätt. Så spelar jag ett solo på min lur.
Och alla katter samlas sen innan det är dags gå hem. Kring mörka grändens enda ljus.
Det klingar skönt kring varje hus.
Yeah, that I was so happy. They sent my voice to Disney to see if they could accept it, and then I got Aristocats, Duchess in Aristocats. And I love doing that voiceover. I love doing voiceover.
So did you say? Did they have you say something like purr?
I talked in Swedish and meow and everything, and I had small kittens, and it was also a love story. So it was Aristocats. Is very well known, and Eva Gabor made my part in United States and all over in English. And then I did Bernard and Bianca, and I love doing that too.
That's so wonderful. Meanwhile, when did you start painting?
Oh, I always painted, but I had my first exhibition 1972. And 1973, I had one in Stockholm, and it was success from the very start. Because I've been working on the side. When I was in a theater, I was kind of bored sometimes when you do the same thing day after day. It was not my cup of tea. I loved also to be able to make my own decisions about everything. So maybe it was more meant to be that I was a painter.
Yeah. That's very interesting. I know that's kind of the byproduct. When you hear actors, even the stars of movies that, dominate the film, there's so much time that you're waiting for the cameras and the lighting and all the technical aspects of making a film. Yeah, that's really wise to have an alternative interest,
Right. And I've seen a lot of what you have been doing. Donna, you are incredible.
Oh my goodness. Well, that was both of us were 60s girls, right?
Yes, that's true.
It just blows me away because when I see those, when you look at yourself young, it's like another person. It's not really you.
Right.
It's funny. It's very funny. But,
yes. So cute.
Thank you, honey. Thank you.
And
when we met at Dr. Adam, we met, and everyone listening, Margareta and I met through our children going to the same school. We met in Malibu at this school called the Cardin School in Las Flores.
Yes. Yeah. The children loved that school.
Yes, well, it was part of a certain method of academia that had some strict rules, but they also had a lot of liberty because it was in Malibu, it was in a canyon, it was in a rustic environment, and a lot of the families of the children were creative people, and so that's who supported the school. Therefore, I recall, Josephina and Emma and my Katie, being involved in a musical performance, and the whole school showed up outside on a stage.
Right.
The kids performed, and it was a very good, well balanced. And Adam,
Mm.
the first teacher, I remember when Josephina and Katie were in either kindergarten or first grade, that their teacher, this young woman, was the granddaughter of Robert Mitchum, the actor.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, I knew that because I love Robert Mitchum as an actor. He's one of the best.
Yeah,
And
very good.
Yeah, and just to go back, Margareta, how did you end up in the United States? Why did you move?
Oh, first of all, why did I move over there? That was because of my husband, former husband, that he started Oriflame, and he had Oriflame over here in Sweden, but then he wanted to start in the United States, and I had to say no to a lot of very, very nice theater productions with very big actors here in Sweden, and then I went over because of his business, and then I got my girls. I'm so happy for that.
Absolutely,
my babies.
Oh yes. And just to paint a picture, when we met, you were still in your small house across the way from where you were building your dream house.
Yeah.
And the girls were all sharing one room.
Yes, and the roof were coming down, so it was a little dangerous. So I said, okay, Bengt, we just built one room, nothing more. And he wanted to make this big castle. I can't believe it, the castle. And of course, I had to be designing everything and be there and take care of all the guys. Every morning, at 5 or 6 o'clock, I went down the stairs and I had papers and everything what they should do, and so it was I was very involved.
Yeah, you were.
Well, the art gallery that you created for your exhibitions had a rooftop tennis court.
Yes. Oh, Bengt started with a tennis court first, before everything else was going to be built.
Okay.
Right. So you were showing some of your art during this time?
On the inside of that tennis court, it was a space, and I said, why don't we make it into art, that I could show my art there, and also Hannah could do that, because she started being a very good artist also.
There were major events there. I mean, many of your Swedish countrymen came to support you, and of course I was there, and you know what? At even some point before my relationship blossomed with Jared, he's been my friend for so many years, and he happened to come up as well. It was just very interesting. It's all interconnected,
Yes.
Fantastic.
And also I recall there was one fantastic show that you did with Emma, I believe, in live art outside.
Oh, that was with Hannah. Oh, Emma too. Emma was singing, and Hannah was the one who really made the whole thing.
Okay.
I let her do that because so she could create and pick people to do different things. It was like what do you call it, an event kind of.
Absolutely, because she started outside, standing as a model, and then she was painted.
Yeah.
Ah, right. So, and people were singing, and there was other art happening as well.
Yeah, everything was happening there. I can't believe it. It was so incredible. But it started like I had a company called SAM, Swedish Art in Malibu. So I invited different artists to start and have exhibitions there all over the house. For example, I had Hans Hedberg sold big kind of fruits
I
in ceramic.
remember. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was in all the magazines for design, and incredible. So they are worth a lot of money.
And I recall that, you know, once the events were over, that you would have these marvelous gatherings in your dining room. It had a long table with many chairs. And something I really admire, that, you know, besides having a feast, you know, everyone would sing their songs from Sweden.
Yeah. And taking wine and very nice wine, and then singing Swedish songs. Yeah, it was incredible.
It's just beautiful. I mean, there's countries all over the world that really dominate this idea of singing brings everyone together and connects you, you know, to the heavens. And I think that the Welsh are famous for, you know, like Tom Jones. It's like you know, the country is famous for singing. Everyone's singing in all the pubs, and you know, it's just the beautiful spirit and connecting with God and the heavens. And it's just, I just loved that. You know, once the events were kind of moving away from the art gallery into the dining area, and hearing all the voices, it was just beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah, and it was so beautiful, that room. It was like you could see through from one side to the other to the ocean. And the ocean was kind of part of the house. It was so beautiful. And then I made also this waterfall. I didn't make it, but I designed it.
Yeah.
And they built it. It was incredible, that waterfall down the hill. Yeah.
A waterfall in the gallery.
From the gallery down the hill.
Amazing.
Close to a little bridge and little area where we have Pisces swimming, and then comes the swimming pool and the ocean, and everything could be seen from that dining room.
And then I'll turn the page a little bit and move forward in the early 90s, when the fire came, and that you had to evacuate with the children, but your husband stayed behind because the water in your pool was used by the firemen that came up to your house without water. All the water was used up, and they tapped into the pool water, and it not only saved your home, but it saved 2 other houses.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. Oh, you have such a good memory, Donna. It was so incredible that we could save more than 2 houses, neighbors. And it was scary because Hannah was still there for a while. And then I saw her, I was picking up the other 2, Emma and Josefina, from school. And I saw the fire from their school, and they said, you can't go back there. And I knew that Hannah was there. But then I saw her driving through. I saw her coming in the car. She had stayed a long time with Bengt and tried to, but she was so scared because the fire was coming to our house.
Yeah.
It was so destroying everything around it.
Wow.
It's just talk about resilience. You know, Malibu has suffered so many fires, but the people that love Malibu and live in the hills like you did, or even close to the ocean, They just keep rebuilding.
That's true.
Yeah, there's such a passion for Malibu, and now more than ever, there's a great record producer named Rick Rubin who has a recording studio, and it's where he lives, and it's called Shangri-La. And people like Adele and Red Hot Chili Peppers, and you name it, and they record at Shangri-La at his studios, and it's Malibu, and it's actually my son Joey has played drums in his studio for many artists. So yeah, so Malibu still holds the magic, even though there's tragedy in between. Like, I started out by talking about the losses that we've all been experiencing on this planet, and how it's so humbling, that when we go through these things, that somehow we find, a spirit inside of us to bounce back and be resilient and create new beginnings for ourselves. To me, it's just amazing.
Absolutely. And Margareta, do you still come to the United States, or have you moved back to Sweden full time now?
Oh, I have 2 children over there, and I want to go there. And I have a granddaughter, 2 years old, I'd never seen, because and they want me to come over, but right now it's very difficult.
Of course.
So,
but
Emma and 2 boys were here last summer and lived in my summer house. So but Josefina has a 5-year-old and then a 2-year-old girl, and both of them. She doesn't want to travel over here with both of them. So she said, I have a guest room. You can live there. She said.
Oh my goodness. Well, I tell you, if you come to California, I'm only in Arizona. So please tell me when. It doesn't matter when. Just let me know.
Oh, how wonderful. And I'm sure Josefina would love to have you come to her house and live there also.
Oh, thank you, honey. May I share with you and everyone that so when Jared and I became a couple and we moved to Hawaii and lived in on the Big Island. And then a couple of years later, I started a design business, a clothing design business. And I asked you if Josefina would come and model for me. And so we brought Josefina over, and this is what I want to share. So Josefina was probably 16 at the time.
I think I've seen the picture. It's so incredibly beautiful.
So
I've seen it.
I was painting these, painted silks garments, and she was wrapped up in one, and Jared's son, who was living with us on the Big Island, he was also 16 at the time. My Katie decided not to move to Hawaii with me. She decided to live with her father. So it was Jared's son, and one day he came home from school and didn't know that Josefina was there.
Yeah.
He walked in the house and he saw this gorgeous blonde beauty, and he just about fainted.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He fell in love. It was like magic, and I know that lasted a while until he realized, no, it's not a reality. But
yes.
But anyway, yes, I have photos of Josefina modeling some of the hand-painted silks that we were creating, and that was an amazing experience.
Yeah, she was a very good model at the time, very good. And also I've seen the picture, and it's incredible. Sometimes I don't know where it is right now. You change mobile phones and you lose some pictures.
Oh,
but
yes.
I have it in my mind. It's incredibly beautiful.
Well, I
And
think I
I
can locate them
still have a
somewhere.
scarf, Donna, in silk that you painted.
Oh, good. Great. That and Emma, I hold her so close in my heart, and I would love to. I don't know why, whatever, the energies don't bring us together, but somehow we're still connected. In fact, we're still all connected. It's in one way, even though we don't see each other.
But it's so incredible that Emma is a singer-songwriter, and you started her really.
Oh my goodness. Well, it was so natural for her. And I remember going into the studio with James Burton's son. James Burton was the famous guitar player, and his son Jeff had a home studio, and he was producing. So Emma and Jared's daughter, who also loved to sing, went in and they did some rehearsing and a little bit of recording just to test it out to see what their voices sounded like. So and then I had Emma. Oh, this was something. I recall that, yes, Katie loved to sing, and she was around 9 years old at the time, and Emma was maybe 11. And my pianist, John Thomas's daughter, was also in that age range. And the three girls would come over and we would practice songs. And there was one song that I was rehearsing with Emma. Dee da dee da 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 da, that beautiful song. And Emma sang it from her heart, through her heart. Her voice came through her heart, and she fainted.
Oh, wow.
And I had to call you because she needed to go home because she sang so deep within her that she remember?
Oh, so she's so lovely.
Well, everyone should know where to listen to Emma's music. To go online and listen it's what's her
Emma Lucia.
Emma Lucia. All right, everyone. So Emma, she's not only beautiful outside, beautiful inside, and her voice is like an angel. And of course, the messages that she writes are from her heart and soul. So that's what you're going to hear. And also, Margareta, tell our viewers where they can see your beautiful art.
Oh, I'm going to have an exhibition soon in southern Stockholm, and also Josefina has my art all over the walls in San Francisco, so they can visit Josefina.
Okay.
And you have your website as well.
Okay, we'll put that in our notes at the end of the podcast. Okay. Well, some of the artwork that I saw on your website, the images that you've created, I see Josefina.
Yes.
they're so enchanting. It's like
Yeah.
you're painting the goddess.
But then, I have to tell you that Emma has a son. He's only 12, and he is also singer-songwriter on YouTube. And his name is Shane Torsten.
That's
So,
amazing. Oh, that's fantastic. So the beat goes on and on.
yeah, right.
I know it's so wonderful to have the creativity, especially now on the planet that needs so much healing and so much love. And our subject here is love's a secret weapon. And I know in 2017 that you met your new love.
Yeah, I met Per, and first of all, we just had very deep conversations, and he has been studied to be a priest, but he does a lot of other things too. And we fell in love, and we still are in love. So it's incredible.
Oh,
Fantastic.
congratulations. I know Dr. Adam just married, newly married in December.
Yes.
So, congratulations.
Thank you. It was wonderful. I'm still paying it off now, I have to say.
I know these weddings are so extravagant, aren't they?
Oh, that's love, a secret weapon.
Exactly. So true.
Definitely. Everyone I listen to, everyone comes down to love is the answer.
It is to survive, because so much is happening in Europe also. We are scared sometimes here in Sweden too.
Talking about that, then, Margareta, we must ask you what we often ask our guests what their secret weapon is. What is your secret weapon?
Oh, I think it's showing happiness for people around me, and on Facebook, people are so happy that they look at. I'm not happy all the time, but I'm only showing happiness and love, and I think it's important for people to get that. And I also show it through my paintings. It could be dark sometimes, but it's always some light in it. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I agree, honey. I really do, and I'm sure deep within our hearts that that's what we all really want in our lives. But to have the kind of discipline to be able to demonstrate it, or maybe just pause. What do you think, Dr. Adam? About behavior in just pausing, just like don't blurt out something that might hurt, which I know I'm guilty of in my young life. And I've had to learn through lots of experiences to not be reactive, but to be responsive.
Absolutely. I think that's so true. And just to be more mindful of each other and people. I think we need that more than ever now.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I'm thinking about Per is very loving. He tells me every morning, he tells me, I love you, and you are so cute, and I'm so happy to have you close by. I mean, believe it or not, I'm telling myself, because he's 16 years younger than me.
Well, age is always so relative. I mean, it's about the souls reuniting, don't you think?
Yeah, but we are together all the time, and if we go to Josefina in San Francisco, we go together. He doesn't want to be without me for a second. Sometimes I'm trying to breathe.
How funny.
That's great.
Well, I I'm hoping that you take a breath before Valentine's, because I'm sure he's going to want to be with you then.
He's very. He looks good too. Maybe you have seen pictures of him.
That
I
always
have.
helps.
Yeah.
Well, but you see beyond whatever's on the surface, and you feel whatever.
Oh yes, we have a very good communication, and I hope it lasts to my last breath.
Yes. Well, I think, whatever we came in to learn in our lives, we have different experiences. Some are not so pleasant, and then, as time goes by, we're really peeling back all the layers to find who we really are. And you are, the epitome of kindness, and that's the energy you're attracting, a kind person. And I feel so blessed that I've attracted a kind person in my life. And Adam, I'm sure Bob is that for you, and you are for him. And little Lucy too. I mean, everyone that can find a way to treat each other kindly. I think that's
it's important. Yeah, I had such a temper when I was younger.
Oh,
yeah.
I always thought that you were a natural comedian, because sometimes when you would visit me and my threshold at the front door would catch your shoe, and you'd give a little hop, skip, and a jump, and I call that the Margareta. You always made me giggle, upon your entrance. You always made me giggle. Oh, honey, it's so wonderful to reunite.
Yeah, it is. It is. So many memories. Yeah, I already used on my. I had a picture in today on Facebook, and I had your song with it.
Oh, thank you.
One of your songs from Burt Bacharach.
Oh yes, Wishing and Hoping. Yes, that was a Dusty Springfield song. Oh yeah.
Right. And I put it on my daily, and people loved it, and I had hearts all over.
Thank you. Oh yeah, that was one of my blessings, with that I was able to sing one of his songs. So yeah, well.
Yeah, I'm so glad you still are singing and doing you're doing the clothes at the same time, don't you?
Yes. Well, right now I continue challenging myself to see how long I can vocalize. And I was so inspired that I just recently saw an interview. I don't know if anyone can find this on YouTube, but Dick Van Dyke. If you see him, he said that he has a singing ensemble that he sings with and performs with, and if it wasn't for the pandemic, he would still be on the road performing.
Fantastic, eh?
And when you see him, I was shocked. Honestly, at 95, his manner of speech is so fluid. His eyes are bright. He just has that get up and go. I was so inspired. So, age to me is age is irrelevant. It's just, if you're blessed, with your health, and then you stay moving and do what you love to do.
Oh, it's important, very important to be active with what you are feeling deeply about. Otherwise, you die inside.
And I think, it's everything from how you like to keep your home, if you enjoy cleaning your bathroom thoroughly, or if you enjoy cooking a certain way, or gardening, or all the simple things, beautiful, simple things in life. If you're doing it, with a kind of present state of mind, and loving what you're doing in the moment, that it's all a meditation, and it's all a connection to spirit. So, then you're being true to yourself, and living your life completely, fully, you know, as my dear friend Kyungsa, who is a wonderful Buddhist monk, and she always tells me, live your life fully. That's the meaning of success.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's so true. And I'm so pleased that we can all speak today and that you can tell us about your passions and your painting and your family and your life. So thank you so much for joining us today, Margareta.
And I have to say one word in Swedish that I remember. Bra.
Bra.
Bra and bravo. Bravissimo.
Ja, bravo.
With
you.
I hope
Kisses. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day.
Bless you, darling.
I love you very much.
Oh, I love you too.
Thank you. And Adam, I love you too.
Oh, thank you. I love you too. Thank you. It's so lovely to meet you, and we'll speak again soon.
Yeah. We are all friends now.
I reach my arms out and give you a long distance hug.
Cute.
Please, and love to purr. Love to the whole family.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling.
Jag vet en man som kan sudisu, sudisu, sjunger ibland på en sudisu, sudisu. Och när han spelar den sudisu, sudisu, blåser på stråkarna, filar den sudisu. Han kan inte orden, så han sjunger sudisu sång. Har försökt lära ut nya ord för ord, vad som helst utom ett sudisu, sudisu. Sjöng den här kända om lite två sätta vill. Låg han så sött och sa att han nog kände till. Lite två jag såg du, sätta vill och sudisu sång.
Vi kan bra lägga förstår jag. Stackars människa. Nej, jag förstår inte hur du står ut. Du mår dåligt, det ser man ju tydligt.
Vad ska man göra då, hitta på och säga då, när allt som hörs är sudisu, sudisu, ständigt detsamma, en monoton ton i ton, han bara sjunger sitt sudisu, 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 sudisu sång.
Vi kan lägga förlåt mig damer. Har ni lust att dansa med mig? Men vad skrattar ni åt? Är ni ensam här? Jaha. Jag tycker det är så söt. Det är sant nu. Hemskt söt verkligen. Lite mullig och sådär. Och det är så fint. Ska vi inte dansa? Vad dansar vi helst? Foxtrot eller vals kanske?